Oops.
Oh.
You are listening to a podcast of the Geek IO Media Network. For all of our shows and more, visit geek-io.net. And to help support the network, head over to patreon.com/geekio.
Hello, gentle listener. While Geek IO holds its talent to the highest standards, what follows will likely involve the sort of language usually reserved for sailors on leave. If you're of a delicate disposition, then perhaps you would consider a different podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Generic Live Show. This is the Generic Live Show 2018 Roundup Spectacular Recording Time. No, because this is kicking off the 2018 Roundup season. This is going to be the biggest stories of 2018. And next time, we're going to have the 2018-2019 prediction show. So, there you go. There you go. It's the set. It's the double feature. I'm Dale Campbell. I'm going to be your host and facilitator for this evening. Joining me is going to be CJ and Rachel Boat from Geek IO.
Yo!
Hello and welcome.
But we're back to the Rachel's magical 6-word life.
There you go. The 6 words to live by is what I can't remember.
I am tired and
I smell
I'm tired and I smell poop.
Words of wisdom to live by.
Yes.
All right. How are you guys doing?
Good.
We had a little bit of a heated pre-show, but that's fine.
Yeah, a little heated pre-show. I have opinions. If this may come as a surprise to you, if you haven't listened to anything else that we've done on the Geek IO show, I'm sorry, but I'm not. Sorry, not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry.
Wait, you have opinions? What is this?
I have opinions. I have up onions.
Up onions.
Yes.
Not off onions. They're bad.
No.
Don't have off onions. All right. Well, like I said, this is going to be the biggest stories of 2018. I'm sorry I didn't have time to put together a Generic Live Show best of 2018. So, go figure. But right at the top. Wow. Oops.
Words.
Acoustic. At the top of the show. I want to. That's an inside joke.
It is. Still, dude, bad Dale.
I want to thank everyone for listening to the Generic Live Show in 2018, even though it was abridged of a year for good reason. It was still Generic Live Show in 2018 was still amazing. I wouldn't trade anything else to do the Generic Live Show. I've been feeling lost these last couple of months because the Generic Live Show hasn't been happening as regularly as it should, and I've been completely lost without it. But I want to thank everyone for the patience that they have while we try and figure out how Generic Live Show can return in some format.
And Dale and I are working on it actively. So.
We are actively working on it, so it's not like we're not actively working on it. There are things to be done in 2019, but we do thank you for your patience. Thank you for listening to that Thanksgiving episode. That was a very fun episode to shoot and to release out to the world. But yes. 2018, we'll get to more of
a very daily birthday giving episode.
Exactly.
That was so much fun.
That was so much fun. And that, again, whilst we didn't have other regular episodes that we normally have, like we didn't have a great burger debate in 2018.
We can hook up one of those for 2019, though, at least.
Yeah, at least.
An American one.
An American one. There we go. But that we have had other specials throughout the year, and I want to thank the fans for making 2018 very special for the Drunk Live Show, and we'll get to more personal stuff We'll get to more personal stuff later in the show. But first, before we get there, ladies and gentlemen, I get to hit a button because I'm actually driving the show today from the Geek I Studios and from ground control. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for...
On to the news!
All right, on to the news of 2018. I've put a few things in the show notes here. We can kind of use this as a guide, or we can scream out things that we have learnt in 2018. So let's start with the stuff in the notes first. That's a good place to start. International Women's Day was a huge deal in 2018.
Yeah, it was one of the biggest, if not ever, big outward performances, showings of the International Women's Day marches and things like that ever.
Right, I think, and it was the number one talked about thing on Facebook, I believe, for 2018.
And well deserved.
Right, very well deserved, and it goes into one of the predictions that I made in 2018 of the fact that there will be more boycotts of the sort that for like basically a 2.0 of the Me Too movement from 2016 would bleed over into 2018.
Yeah.
And it was also a good opening of conversation for people as well.
Agreed.
So what are your thoughts on the International Women's Day topic? Let's go with Rachel. Hey, Rachel, what's your opinion of International Women's Day?
Considering I am the representation of what was being celebrated that day.
Right.
My only regret is that I think I was working that day.
I mean, fair.
And there's now, don't get me wrong. As a teacher, we know that the demographics of teachers, most of us are women. It goes hand in hand with what we do. But the fact that there is finally, well, for one, it kind of sucks that we have to have that day to recognize women as being an integral part of society.
Right.
But the fact that we are finally, getting some kind of representation, it's kind of nice.
Fair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay, we've got voting rights, we've got this, we've got that. We still don't have equal pay. We still don't have equal representation. We still don't have equal rights in many respects.
Right.
And that's not to say we are the only demographic that suffers with those things, because we're not.
Right.
But, I am white woman. I have many a coworker who is minority race, insert minority race here, and they're getting a double whammy of it. I'd like to see more being done, but not just for women, but for all.
For all. And I don't like the concept of what I commonly refer to as the social pyramid. It's been a long week. Social pyramid of how society still functions even into the 21st century and into 2019 is that social pyramid working. We should knock down that pyramid and have everyone on an equal playing field. That's the ideal world. Whether that'll happen or not, it's a whole nother story.
It won't happen for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Especially in light of current situations, shall I say it that? I'll say it that way. In light of current situations, it's a long road, but it's not one that, as a woman, we've not fought for years.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, go back to suffragettes.
Right.
Look at the steps that they made. Did it suck the whole time? Yes. Was it fighting tooth and nail for the things that we did get as women? Yes. Are there still great steps that need to be taken? Yes.
Right.
But just that little push in the positive, which I look at as a positive, many look at it as, the fact that we still have to do this in 2018 is crap.
Right.
Which is still the truth.
Which is still the truth, and it still doesn't hurt as it still hurts is what I'm trying to say. Like it still hurts that we still have to make those comments in particular, but it's good to see that we're making those steps and
that we're acknowledging, yes, there is a gap here. Actually, in my job, I've taken on being what's called an equity champion, which looks at gender, race, religion, color, creed, all of that for equality across, all of this.
Right.
Not just for the adults, but more so for our children that we're working with on a daily basis. Acknowledging that there is this inequality, having those conversations about things that are, do I have it in arm's reach? No. I'm literally stuck reading a book for school. And ironically enough, for not only my work school, but my master's program school, that's, taking on these courageous conversations that, we know are uncomfortable topics, and facing the fact that these uncomfortable topics do exist and will continue to exist unless we discuss them.
Right. And it's continuing to have that conversation that is very important.
It's hard.
It's hard too.
Like, here, because I really like the way. Morgan. This one happens to be specifically focused on race.
Mm-hmm.
But, promoting the equity not only with race, religion, color, creed, but looking at the gender bias that we walk into a lot of things with. Because a lot of people, men don't become teachers typically. Why? Because it's looked at as a women's profession.
Right.
Same thing with secretarial work. Most secretaries are women.
Yep. Fun fact, I was told a couple of years into my degree is that also, by the way, 2018 big year, because I just thought of something, but that's for later. That I was told that I was getting into a woman's profession, and it was the job that I was vying for was a woman's job. And I'm like, well, this is something I'm passionate about. If I have to be a woman for it, then, well, guess what's going to happen? It's not a requirement that I'm a woman, but, well, I'd love it so much, then I would. If fully being facetious. Hi, Mum, if you're watching, which I know you are. Hi, Mum.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
But I mean, that's the kind of thing, okay, look at the basics of color.
Right.
What color do we dress little boys in?
Typically blues and greens and stuff.
Blues and greens. What do we dress little girls in? Pinks and purples.
Right.
Pink is not a real color. CJ can go on that tangent.
It is an entirely fabricated color, but at least it is in the human eye, because the human eye can only see the 7 shades of of the rainbow. The rainbow actually has approximately 14 million colors in it. The human eye can only see the 7. Any color that does not exist outside of those 7 are purely and 100% fabricated colors.
So, CJ years ago introduced me to something called red versus blue.
Yeah.
You remember red versus blue, right?
I remember red versus blue.
I didn't think Dale remembers red versus blue.
That was a while ago.
Rooster Teeth people, it is a Halo parody machinima, which is using Halo art assets to tell a unique story.
Unique.
He breaks the chair again.
Chair's going to be the death of me.
One of the characters in Red versus Blue is pink. And he
Salmon.
stands by his statement of, my suit is not pink, it's lightish red.
Right.
So, me being me, here I go through the history of color because this is what we do. It's history. I like doing stupid shit like this. Like CJ does the stuff that actually means something. No, I go for
I love that CJ is going on like.
hey, we discovered
history.
we discovered part of the reason why CJ is now lactose intolerant. Think
mean,
about
I was
that.
gonna say, I don't
Yeah, but
know
that
if
was-
spending several hours researching genetics back to Native Americans is actually worth something.
But
it's worth
neither.
something to you.
It's something, and it's also.
Looking up what colors used
Yeah.
to mean is kind of dumb.
Yeah, I was about to say, let's compare the two side by side and what's more beneficial for you.
Red is looked at as a power color for many, many years. It wasn't up until oops, we dropped white in this color. Let's see. Oh, look, it's so light and pretty.
Right.
Let's
right.
put it on a girl. It would look adorable. No, for years upon years, red was a boy's color because red is a power color, whereas it's a hot color, a warm color, a power color. Whereas blue is a cool color on the color palette. It represents calm, serenity, peacefulness, which for girls is what we're supposed to be.
Yeah,
We're
that doesn't make sense.
The
that it
calming
was reversed.
factor. We're supposed to be the balanced one. Fuck that, first of all.
Big mood.
But at some point, the colored views switched. So red became and pink became the girl color, and blue became the boy color.
Right.
So the fact that we're thrown into fighting over, I had somebody ask me, sidetrack. Somebody asked me, well, and this was before we found out we were having a boy. I've got a lot of boy clothes at home. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, but good to know.
I'd like them to go to somebody who can use them. And well, you're the only person. This is my boss. Well, one of my bosses. This is my assistant principal, and I adore her. She is like amazing. She goes, well, I want it to go to somebody who can actually use it. I said, my daughter wore boys' clothes for probably the first year of her life because we didn't find out what we were having, or we found out what we were having, but I'm not one of those parents that's like, it's got a football on it. I'm like, my daughter was wearing New York Giants jerseys.
Oh my God, that's the best.
Most of my daughter's clothes came from the boys section because I thought they were freaking adorable.
Right.
And, you know, even when I dressed her in shit with frilly ruffle butts, oh, your son is adorable. Do I need to stick a flipping bow on her head to make you real, like a big fucking
Right.
on her head? I think they look stupid.
Right.
I'm like, I don't conform to the gender norms most of the time because, though, yes, I've got nails. I get my hair done when I'm not pregnant and I don't look like a, homeless woman. I'm like, I don't conform to the gender norms. I said, if my daughter turned around to me tomorrow and said, Mommy, I want to dress like a boy, can I go shopping in the boys section? I'd be like, sure, go for it.
Right.
Same with my son. Aaron was asking for something with like pink stripes on it the other day. And this other mother in the store just looked at me and was like, oh, that's in the girls section. I said, it's a t-shirt.
Yeah, it's a freaking piece of clothing, dude. Call me your pinks.
I'm your picks.
Like my son is and it was cute too. And I was like, if you really want it, we can go ahead and get it. He goes, no, Mommy, she's right. It's in the girls section. And it was a girl cut.
Right.
And they also didn't have, an extra large because Aaron is 110 pounds and 5 foot tall.
AJ's pure muscle big dude.
He's
Right.
like rock solid with a little tiny booty belly. He's not fat. He's just got a little booty belly because he needs to stretch.
Little booty. Needs to stretch, yeah.
Well, he's about to hit a growth spurt, and it's going to be horrible because I've got some teachers at school that are like 5'2", 5'3", and he's going to be eating peanuts off their heads. But it's like all because this one mother was like, "But this is in the girls section." I'm like, Nunya?
Right. And then someone in the chat, Calcine, points out that, well, I mean, the separation of gender-based clothes for kids, at least babies, wasn't really big up until the mid-'80s.
Correct.
Where parental testing had started. Prenatal. Well,
Yeah.
no, I know.
Somewhere between.
Prenatal.
Actually, I think it was already in place. It was late 70s when they started being able to recognize gender via sonogram and such.
Right. Definitely.
And it wasn't with 100% accuracy. It's still not 100% accuracy.
No.
I had a friend who was pregnant right after I had Kiara, and they kept saying it was a girl, it was a girl, it was a girl. Guess what? It has a penis. It's not a girl.
Right. But actually, I'm a good case of that too, because fun fact, and I think I've mentioned this somewhere before, right up until birth, I was meant to be a girl. Like, they couldn't detect anything anywhere. So, yeah, prenatal
So Dale just
testing.
learned to tuck it early. It's okay.
Well, I mean, it was a good start. But, like, finishing up on this point, like,
sorry, Dale.
bad choice of words about using the word point right there in that sentence. But rounding up on this point, there's definitely the kind of thing where there was this divide in the 80s with this what would be technology, and it's created a divide ever since, but I think we're working towards kind of merging that divide again.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I mean, when people are blowing it out of proportion, because I know like Target is doing a lot of, they're going to a more unisex branding with a lot of their stuff, especially in the children's clothes, which doesn't faze me. But then I hear like my own mother, she's like, I don't understand why I can't just go get this and this. And I'm looking at her and I'm like, you kidding me? I'm like, you're the idiot that bought your granddaughter the boys' jerseys. You had no problem with that then. So
why now?
What changed?
Right.
Like now you're having a canary over the fact that they've got boys and girls stuff in the same aisle. Piss off.
Right.
All right.
No, we want to be equal everywhere else. Guess what? If you want equality everywhere, guess what? It's everywhere.
Where? Right. And you can even still cater to boys and girls, but it's in the same aisle. Like, you pick out what you want.
So yeah, there's Rachel's tangent, but yes.
No, it's an important tangent, and I haven't been able to provide that because we've been doing the biggest stories for as long as the predictions. I haven't been able to provide that sort of level of insight, so that is a good thing.
You're welcome.
Thank you. CJ, any thoughts on
Nope.
that?
Nope.
Okay,
nope.
moving on.
Not touching it.
Alrighty, there we go.
I on every show I'm on a bastion feminist. We talked about this last year. The one thing that I want to talk about, I really wish it would stop needing to be the biggest fucking story about every year.
I'm agreeing with you because again, this is I think this actually we've been doing before the predictions. It's actually been doing since the start of the show. So this is like the fifth one of this we've been doing now.
2015 at least.
2015 at least. So, like, okay. I agree. All right, moving on. This next one's a little bit close to home, so we can leave particulars out if you want to. But to say that there's been also an influx of gun-related violence again this year is also kind of scary to think about.
I would prefer not to get into a discussion about that at this point.
I'm fully aware of that, but also, like, it's people are also
that, as a teacher, and that unfortunately schools are a huge target right now.
Right.
Sandy Hook, Marjorie Stoneman Douglas, which let me tell you how interesting it was coming home from work that day.
Right.
Last year.
Redacted. Right.
the amount of phone calls that I received because it was literally just put out there as a school on the coast in Florida. Well, guess what? I live on the coast of Florida.
Right.
They didn't specify which coast. And I work in a school. They didn't specify what grade levels. They just said a school.
Right. And
you know, when you're hearing gunmen shooting up school, children dead, my phone blows up. And I'm sitting at work like, why is my phone blowing up? Because I don't keep my phone on me at work.
right.
Well, I do, but it's off and I'm not like picking it up because I have students. I have responsibilities.
Right.
So I get into the car after all that and I look at my phone and I see all the alerts and all the messages from friends and family going, are you okay? Please message us. We're worried. But my 8 and 9-year-old know more about what do we, I don't even remember what the hell we call them now. People being on campus that don't belong.
Right.
They know how to run away.
Right.
They know how to hide.
And also what I wanted to mention also is people still banding together after the fact. It's not helping the events, but it's still good to see the sense of community after the fact.
But the fact that it takes that situation and there's still no resolution being done at higher levels.
Right.
We have glass that was put up in our school. Plexiglass. It's not going to stop a bullet.
No.
We have our key cards that unlock these doors. They're still fucking plexiglass.
Right. There's still glass. Right. I understand that.
So, you know, you're giving everybody this false sense of security. And now don't get me wrong. There are some districts that have put the extra funding into bulletproof glass. Great. Guess what? I'm 6 foot tall. I can reach over the glass in my office.
Damn.
Doesn't take much.
No.
In fact, some of the 5'6" people can reach over just as easily. There's that false sense of security. We have a school resource, not even school resource officer. The high schools and such have been assigned school resource officers. We've got a security officer.
Right.
What's he going to do?
Right.
Like, don't get me wrong. He's an awesome man. He's a former police officer. He's still young enough to be a police officer. He's chosen to come be at the school level. But Marjorie Stoneman Douglas had 4 school resource officers on campus that day. 2 of which heard what was going down and did not engage to stop what was going on.
Right. All right. Moving on. Moving on. I just wanted to mention it and then move on.
I could very passionately speak very angrily about the whole situation.
Right. Different show. Civil engagement, though, was up. The Brazilian presidential election on October 7th and the U.S. The U.S. midterm elections on November 6th were top conversation about voting in elections. And fun fact, voter turnout was the highest in the longest time in the U.S. midterm elections in November 6th.
Correct. It is the largest turnout, and I can speak from experience.
Right.
The largest turnout for midterm elections since 1984, 1986, one or the other.
Something like that.
Something like that. I'm glad more people are joining the conversation. More people are having their say. Whether, again, it's more of, did it affect anything in 2018? Probably not on the grand scheme of things. Maybe locally, depending on where you live. Florida didn't have any changes of note, did they?
No, our everything that was red remained red. Everything that was blue remained blue.
Mm-hmm. Well, there you go. Anything on civil engagement before we move on?
No, I mean, that's pretty much it. It's good that everything is getting out there.
Right. The World Cup happened in 2018, you guys. Remember?
Yep.
2018's been a long year.
I completely forgot that the World Cup happened this year because I just didn't hear anything about it for whatever reason.
Right. Because, again, 2018 got real weird real quick. Well, not weird, but like, not as weird as 2016, but kind of got a bit like hush-hush, and the World Cup was a thing. I don't know where they played.
I don't know.
Somewhere. It was in July anyway. That was that. And the Soup Owl happened.
Super Bowl, yes.
Super Owl. Cold tomato soup happened. It was the 52nd, and it was Justin Timberlake's halftime performance paying a tribute to Prince. Can confirm, sources say that Janet Jackson wasn't present. Can confirm. Can confirm.
No boobs.
No getting knickered by the end of that song.
No.
Prince was 2017, right? That's
2016 with everybody
2016.
else.
Oof, real rough. Breeze through those two because all three of us, I don't want to speak for the other two, but Sports Ball happened.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
pretty much.
There was a royal wedding this year.
Yep.
Yeah,
So,
of American.
and
A royal wedding, announcement of not one but two royal babies.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And
Bubbas.
actually, technically, there was three royal weddings. Or two royal
So,
weddings, two royal.
Right.
There's no way this can happen considering he's like 7th in line, but we could have an American queen in England and take that 1776 England.
What?
Yeah, Henry, right? Henry.
No,
Henry?
William? No.
William's not American. I don't.
Henry.
No,
Yes.
Meghan Markle's American.
Yeah, Henry is what.
Yes.
Henry's who you're thinking. Prince
Yeah.
Henry?
No, I'm saying is exactly. If he again, he's like 7th in line. If he became king, we'd have a queen. We'd have an American queen.
Oof.
Yep.
In England. Take that 1776.
Right. Russia for the World Cup, by the way. And France won.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't ignoring it. I legitimately forgot. There's a huge difference. Huge
no.
difference. All right. Next up, we've got Nelson Mandela marks 100 years
Yep.
since Nelson Mandela was born.
Yeah.
That was
That man did a lot of work.
July 18th. And then this fun part of this episode, and what's inevitably going to be the fun part of the prediction show. The list of 2018 icons that have moved on.
Oh boy.
And I never realized, but Aretha Franklin was 2018.
Yeah.
That was rough for me. That was rough. We've got Avicii's in there. The Cranberries guy. Cranberries. They sung "Zombie" right? That
Yes.
ones?
Yes. I was about
Gotcha.
to make the joke of, oh no, now there's going to be a zombie outbreak.
Okay, well, you were talking about not getting copyrighted on YouTube. There you go. We've got flagged now.
That's parody.
It's YouTube. We also lost Stephen Hawking in 2018.
Yep.
Yes.
Right. And Stanley, of course.
Of course, yeah.
Those, I think 2018 was like rough. 2016 was like the worst. 2018 was
2018 was really bad, like because it had major impactful deaths in every kind of outlook that you have in life. Like you have your music, you have your sciences, you have your like I don't remember his name and I feel really bad, but one of the world's greatest scientists, other than Stephen Hawking, because he doesn't technically count as a scientist. Don't at me, physicists.
don't at you, bro.
If any physicists listen, don't at me. If you do please
add
email
him.
though.
Please, there you go. Show at geek-io.net. And then
Entertainment, movies, like there wasn't like as impactful, and also because it was spread
more
out.
non-discriminatory this year.
Right.
It was also
right.
spread out for your big major like left hook, right hook kind of deaths.
Right.
Like
Unlike 2016, where it was just like a freaking machine gun.
You look back at 2016, and it was like music, movies, and it was like all in clumps.
Right.
Whereas this one was like this person, and then this person, and then this person, and then F cancer all the way around with most of them.
Yeah, most of it was cancer related.
Yeah,
Yep.
cancer, leukemia, prostate, this, that, and then you had, you did have your few. Kate Spade.
Oh, yeah, Kate Spade.
Yeah. Hey Dale.
Hey, CJ.
Hey Dale.
Hey, CJ. Let's talk about the top 10.
What happened with Kate Spade this last year?
That's a very good question. Why don't you tell the fine folks at
mental
home what
health
happened to Kate
got
Spade?
put on the radar because we lost. That was one of the few clumps. Like that was a 3 in the row, and it was all mental health.
Right.
And severe depression that was never handled.
Right. Wasn't handled properly, right?
Yeah.
And
Like never acknowledged and swept under the rug for so many years. 'Cause when someone is that severely depressed, they will put forth they put forth a pretty good front because they don't want everybody to see them as weak. And that's unfortunately the society that we've given that power to. Mental illness is a weakness, and it's really not.
right, and also turning to like drugs and alcohol because Avicii
Yep.
also died, and that was drug related too.
Yep.
Memory serves.
Yep.
So, any sort of other big impactful news before we kind of move into top 10 list form?
I mean, I'm not sure on this one, but we had a lot of movement on the North Korean level this year.
Oh, yeah.
North Korea damn near detonated the entire peninsula, and they're like, oops, our bad, please help us, our people are dying.
Right.
So aside from the summit I refuse to talk about right now, a more meaningful one, Kim Jong-un went to Pyongyang, or went out of Pyongyang to Seoul, South Korea this year. And it is one of like 7 times that the leader of North Korea has been in public without a reflective, without like assassination preventing things in front of them.
Right.
So while I really could care less for the brutal dictator Kim Jong-un, this could spell something decent for his people. The MVP of all of this, and I wish I was joking, thank you, Dennis Rodman.
Ah, okay. I mean, thank you. Next. It was also 2018, technically. You watch people... Okay, sidebar. You watch people try and claim that Thank You Next by Ariana Grande came out in 2019. They're wrong. So it came out in December of 2018.
We had the first cloning of a primate this year.
Ooh.
Again, science nerd.
I mean, that's fair. I don't have a science angle, so...
Oh, this is one. Yeah, Saudi Arabia let women drive.
Oh, yeah. That is a huge one. Australia got a new prime minister. Again.
Yeah.
Like, really? Because movies and stuff we've got next. So trying to think around that.
Oh my god, how the hell could I have freaking missed this? Water was discovered on fucking Mars this year, you guys.
What? That was
Yes.
this year?
Yes.
July 25th. I'm looking through. Yes, I'm cheating. But I'm like, how the
No.
hell did I forget that water was discovered on Mars this year?
Oh my god, I feel like that was 2017.
Yeah, I'm like,
Huh.
I don't understand how I missed that.
Right. Wow. Huh.
Or I forgot that because I know it was on my radar.
Right. Also, guys, pro tip, 2018, Tide Pods were still, the Tide Pod Challenge was in 2018.
Oh my
You
god.
have to go there.
I did have to go there because it spun that. It's also spun something called a cinnamon challenge.
Oh yeah, where people will
Yeah.
just put solid cinnamon down their throats, which can makes your esophagus
Shut down.
spasm and shut.
Right. That's fun. Those need to die too. That's
Yeah, the YouTube challenges. Yes,
Ugh.
actually, thankfully, YouTube has instated a thing in their terms of service where they will flat out take your movie or your video down for those.
right
Same with Twitch.
because you're inflicting harm on yourself and others.
Yes.
Right. What other challenges were there in 2018? I feel like there was one other that was like, oh my god.
Oh my
really?
god, yeah, the Jamal Khashoggi murder this year too.
Right. There was Tide Pods, there was cinnamon, and there was something else that was like why. It was YouTube related.
Yeah, they're the harmless ones. The Bird Box challenge is a bad one where everybody
the
walks
Bird Box
around
challenge.
blind.
Is that 2018 or is that
That was this year.
technically
No,
2019?
that was last year. That was 2018.
Just.
Yeah, that was almost this year
Oh my god.
in 2019.
Yeah, can we leave that in 2018? Thanks.
Yes.
Oof.
People decided to start driving Bird Box challenges.
Oh,
Which is just fucking stupid.
right. Because
Wait, Hungary passed a slave law?
I would not be surprised.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
There was an Olympics this year.
Yeah, there was an Olympics. I actually watched a bunch of it. Not as much as I usually do. I actually, like, most of the time, like, because I'm not sports ball, but I love, like, watching the range of sports that the Olympics creates.
Right.
I didn't watch much of it this year, but I watched a good chunk of it.
I'm trying to think of what else happened in 2018 that's not in here.
Oh my god, yes.
28
Jesus Christ, Hungary, what the hell is wrong with you?
Mhm.
No country has approved legalized slavery since 1897.
Oof.
Ugh.
Exactly. That. Let's move on from that. Out of that. If we think of anything, we can just put it in there, but I wanted to kind of break that up from there if anyone had any pressing
Nope, we're
stories.
good.
All right, we're good. Top 10s. Let's power through these. Movies. Black Panther, of course.
Yes.
Deadpool 2, of course.
Yes.
Venom, which I don't think I saw.
You can borrow it if you want to.
So,
It's literally on my lap. I moved it back over to the thing.
right.
I have the DVD that you can borrow if you want to.
Wait, so I don't understand how Venom was more over Avengers Infinity War. But
Yeah, that's dumb.
That's-
I love Venom to death. It's dumb, stupid fun, but
more of
it's
a
stupid.
more recent people. It had a spike. That's probably why.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right. Bohemian Rhapsody, A Star Is Born, which is going to win A Star Is Born is going to win the Oscar.
I disagree.
Well. Incredibles 2.
Oh
this
yeah,
year?
man.
Right. And there was another Disney sequel too. No, that's
Mary
technically-
Poppins Returns.
Mary Poppins Returns was Christmas.
Wreck-It Ralph too.
Wreck-It Ralph 2, that's what I was thinking of. There you go.
Still haven't had a chance to see that yet.
No.
Make me see it.
Neither. The Nun. Never heard of it. A
As
Quiet...
opposed to the many.
Right. As opposed to the... Damn it. I was literally about to say that and I realized, nope, you've already made that joke.
I literally just said that.
A Quiet Place.
What?
I said a quiet place.
Roar!
No, shh, we have to be quiet.
Or else the big monster comes to get you and goes roar.
Yeah, absolutely. But we still have to be quiet.
Welcome to the ASMR show.
I don't know what we're doing with this.
ASMR, that's what we're doing. We're not doing ASMR. Moving on!
Moving on. Jurassic World and Jurassic World sequel.
That flopped harder than a
Right.
freaking fish.
Yep. But Chris Pratt was in it, so I can't complain too much.
Yeah, pretty much. I have to see it eventually because I will watch every Jurassic Park movie that ever exists, regardless of how bad they are. This makes me sad. This is the only Jurassic Park movie I did not see in the theaters.
Ooh.
It makes me super sad.
Oof. Musicians and bands. Demi Lovato, speaking of mental health. Oof.
Yes.
That was a close call.
Yeah, but thankfully she realized what the hell she was doing and pulled herself out of it at least.
Right. Cardi B, although, again, that's early year results spiking it up. Because she released her album and then now nothing. Like, literally.
Yeah, she got in that fight with somebody and then...
Nicki Minaj. That fight.
Yeah, there we go. I couldn't remember who it was.
Of course I did. I knew.
Yes.
She got in that fight and then she's literally disappeared.
Yep. Push. I'm out.
Never.
I'm going to go back to studying presidents because that's something she actually does.
Who, Nicki Minaj or...
No, Cardi B.
Cardi B, gotcha.
Yeah, she is a political scientist when she's not writing freaking albums.
Huh.
And I'm not joking.
Does she like it like that?
Yes.
Okay. Daniel, last name I'm not even going to try to pronounce.
Sure.
Sure. Cool Billock.
Okay.
Travis Scott, the rapper, Rick Ross, rapper, 6ix9ine is an abomination on Earth. Which, by the way, trap rap was huge this year too.
Yeah. Well, I firmly blame that one. Well, not really blame. Put that on to This Is America.
Oh yeah, that was this year too, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Oh.
Yeah, it was.
Okay, 2018, real long year that not had spikes, but really didn't have anything consistent to it.
No, it did not, sadly.
I think that's a Korean band at 7. Childish Gambino is at number 8. So there you go. Another Korean band at number 9, and then Nick Jonas at number 10. Nick Jonas had a thing this year?
I believe so. Yeah,
I
I
mean,
don't know.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
TV shows. I have no idea what number 1 is.
What is it? What is it? I don't have the notes up.
It's
I'm not gonna lie.
either Japanese. It's characters of some sort. I'm gonna put it that way.
That's racist.
It's not.
Characters of some sort.
Yaxi Palace.
I don't know what that is.
Sure. Why not? It's coming up with what looks like Chinese Wikipedia pages. We've
Still racist.
We've had Altered Carbon. Never heard of it.
That's Netflix. Netflix. Kind of Black Mirror. Do androids dream of electric sheep kind of thing.
Gotcha. We've got Indian shows at 3 and 4. Sure, why not? Roseanne was this year, you guys.
Oh my
And they probably killed her.
Yep.
Yeah, we should have done that I should have done that for the predictions in 2018. That I would have made bank.
Well, she didn't die. Her career died. But yes.
Well, no, I know she didn't die, but the who's hot now and off the radar at the end of the year.
Yeah, that would have been.
That would have been an easy win.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, she's always been crazy. But man, ambience, unlisted side effects, man. Jeez.
Oof. The Haunting. Wow. The Haunting of Hill House.
Yes.
No idea what that is.
It's a Netflix show that's all about spoopy things.
Sure. Lost in Space.
It's a Netflix show about old things.
In space.
In space. With a robot.
Confusion in the Milky Way.
Yes.
Grande Fratello. Sure.
Delicious.
Right?
Get it with
It's
soy
my
milk.
favorite
God,
thing
it
to
just
get at Starbucks.
ignites it.
Ignites the Grande Fratello. Sagdo Soul. People are really, these weren't shows. Google, you're really just messing with me at this point. And then Bodyguard, which I hope was okay.
I've heard it's all right. Yeah.
Yeah. It's okay. Any other news things before we move into personal moments of 2018?
No.
No. I put a break in here, but I don't think we need one because I think we're running pretty good for time.
Yeah, we're good.
I think we're about 45 minutes, so we're pretty good. Yeah, 2018 again. News-wise, had spikes, but nothing really tentpole-y.
Yeah.
But personally, my God, 2018, what a year.
Yeah.
Honestly, what a year.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Facebook puts out their year in review thing, and
Right.
I legitimately cried at 2018's.
Yeah.
Like, a lot happened in 2018.
Yes.
I'm going to let the guests go first because that's what I do.
So Rachel and I celebrated our 15th wedding anniversary this year. That's a major thing. We went to Australia
Yes.
and slept on a very squeaky air mattress for 10 days.
Yeah, with yeah, I can't say that out loud. Oops.
We
So
Got
what
to
was
swim in the Great Barrier Reef.
swimming in the
yep,
Great Barrier Reef?
Great Barrier Reef. Oh yeah, that's being rebuilt.
What?
The Great Barrier Reef.
It is, yes.
Yeah, they are actively working on rebuilding it and in a natural way too, which makes me happy.
Yes.
Trying to not just put the big drop the ball thing there.
Well, there is a best, and then like honorable mentions can be like everything else.
Well, yeah. Biggest year for Geek IO ever in 2018,
Yep.
including a mostly sold out panel at DragonCon.
Oof.
Like
Yeah,
a
that's
mostly
right.
filled room at DragonCon, man. Just I wasn't paying attention. I was trying to work stuff on the tech station. I look up and there's maybe 3 seats not taken.
Wow.
I about fell off the freaking stage.
Right. I'm bummed that I couldn't come this year.
Yeah, it was very sad.
know.
But I will let Rachel go now.
Let's go. Let's do best and honorable mentions. We can get to if there's any
That-
bad stuff at the end.
That's all of them in there with me.
Okay.
Also, great Spider-Man game came out there. That was
Oh,
personal.
yeah. There we go.
So considering I started off 2018 getting iron infusions with like half the blood volume I was supposed to have.
Oh yeah, that's right. 2018 started real rough.
Yeah. I still have, issues with my veins and I always will, but the fact that I was able to regain my health this year, I went from having a hemoglobin, which is your blood level, of 6.2,
Oof.
which you're supposed to be at like 12 bare minimum, to being over 13. My iron levels were iron and ferritin, which is your iron level in your blood and your stored iron in your bones, from 4 on both to normal ranges, on the lower end of normal ranges, but normal ranges. So, going from, hey, you're slowly dying without this treatment, yeah, to regaining that, being able to go on my 15-year anniversary vacation.
Right.
And entering my last semester of my master's program.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Has been a busy year. And of course, I'm ending my master's program probably the same week I'm giving birth.
That's exciting. Like
Yeah,
that-
we're supposed to do what's called a gallery walk to present, our findings for all the research that we've been doing for the last 2 semesters.
and
2
you're
and a
like,
half semesters.
about
It's
that.
like 3 days after I'm gonna be getting induced if I haven't gone into the hospital before then. So my professor's like, I'm not gonna make you do that.
Right.
We'll work something out. So, and moving up with the big kids this year, because I'm not teaching kindergarten 1st and 2nd, I'm teaching 4th and 5th.
That's right. Yeah, you had a class change.
Yeah. Oh, I needed it. I needed something different after last year. I was like, look, get me away from the babies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And all the work that we've done to get Geek IO up and legitimized for the upcoming year that we finished off, working on last year has been pretty wild.
Right.
Yeah.
Of course, dragging Dale over to the States.
I mean, that's fair.
Beating him into submission to finally submit paperwork.
Okay, well, you know what? Let's not harp on that for too long. CJ's,
We beat you with that out
yeah.
of love because, yeah.
CJ actually beats me with it, which is fine. I deserved
Yes.
it. It's
well,
fine.
that's CJ, not me.
Right, there you go. Anything else before I
Nope.
take the
it's all
floor?
you.
Wow, 2018 is going to be probably the best year I've had since probably 2012.
Aww.
2012, I left Australia to go to Ookie Bookie Wonderland. Again, inside joke.
Yes.
I started an adventure out of high school to go to Vanuatu to volunteer teaching elementary school kids. In 2018, I graduated university, which, boy howdy, that doesn't not feel like that was this last year.
Yeah.
That feels way longer than that ago. But that was the thing. I finished all the classes in 2017, but officially graduated in 2018, which so weird that I had that 4-month gap. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. Graduated, and got officially accepted into the Disney College program. I know, to come over here and work in what has now become my favorite part of Disney World, probably by choice. Main Street USA and Magic Kingdom has been my home since August, and I don't think I could ask for a better home, to be completely honest. Everyone's been so open and so welcoming. I don't think I've had I haven't had a bad experience like I experienced in my old job, which I had to leave from. I left my first job in 2018 as well, by the way. Fun fact, I'm a child. It's fine.
It happens.
It happens. It was a mutual thing, so it's like, well, it wasn't really mutual. I was like, I'm moving across the world. Bye.
Yeah.
I didn't get fired. That's the one. That's the one thing. Still got that on my clean record of not being fired. But to kind of break free of my old job and even even I know that this is temporary and it's ending in 2019, it's still got to be the biggest sort of leap of faith that I've done so far, and it's definitely paid off.
And the growth that you've had.
Oh yeah.
We've known you for what, almost 8 years now?
Yeah.
That sounds right.
And it's funny because when we first started, when CJ first started talking to you, he's known you longer than I have.
Mm-hmm.
It was like you were what, 18, 17?
I want to say 17.
Something like that, yeah.
I want to say 17.
I want to say 17. That's what I'm going to go with.
Right, because it was before I'd even started at my old job.
Yeah, and it was like, adorable little boy, stars in his eyes, big dreams, didn't know how to go about it. And in those 8 years, I've watched you grow.
Right.
Like I am mommy mode. But that's always who I've been.
Right.
And just in the last year,
Mm-hmm.
the growth that you have shown, not only as a person, but as every aspect of what you've chosen to do with life in the last year,
Mm-hmm.
it's like, oh,
Right.
Like I joke and I say, oh, my little boy's growing up and he's doing this. And it's like, I've watched you turn from this adorable little boy,
Right.
just graduating high school, to, having this degree and going forward and, making these steps. And it's an amazing thing to have been a part of watching and seeing
Right.
the things that you're doing now. Freaking jealous. 2:00 in the morning, pictures from the Magic Kingdom. I'm like, it's empty.
Right.
Either when it's empty.
With me making love with milk carton potato salad. Actually, highlight of 2019 so far is discovering that America has been hiding the fact that potato salad comes in milk cartons.
Milk cartons.
Oh my god. It's just gonna kill you, dude.
I know, but it's so good, and like,
No, it's not.
It really is.
No, it's not.
You have not lived. But I know what you mean, where it's just the continuous development and knowing that it's not stopping here, and
Yeah.
like I keep reiterating the hashtag chase your dreams. I mean, that wasn't the hashtag I used in the 2018 year-end post. But, which I really want to pull up and just read verbatim. It was a very good summary of 2018, to be completely honest. But, and this was something that happened this last week and this last week's been a real learning experience as well. But if you were to tell me 3 years ago that upon first visiting Disney World as a whole, let alone the Magic Kingdom, that I would be working there, I would have said that you're insane. Like that.
12 days, 3 years and 12 days ago, we were running through Magic Kingdom.
Right.
And we took a picture in front of the castle with you just beaming, and it was raining and overcast that day.
Right.
And the sun came out just long enough to take that stupid picture.
Oh my God. Yeah, that picture.
And here we are 3 years later, and it's like, you're doing amazing things.
Right. And I work there, and I share that story with people, and like, not that it's the mentality of if I can do it, you can too, but it kind of is in a way where it's just like, I was that starry-eyed child, and the development that I've gone through, particularly in 2018 itself, was the okay, what's next kind of mentality. And something's next for me, like around the corner. Like, I'm not going to give up on that. And the fact that I've been here since August, and now I get to show people what I know because I'm now training in my location. It's a huge step. And that's I make a joke in the prediction show that is gonna seem like this is all like blowover, but the fact that like I like becoming that kind of, well, now I work at Disney World. Like it's like I shouldn't say it so casually, but I tend to because of where I'm located, first of all, which doesn't help. Second of all, like it's huge to think and if not if, but when and if I go back to Australia, there's no doubt there's going to be people that want me to share my story, which I could go down that route if I really wanted to share that story of having a dream and then following it. You know, I could go down that public speaking route. I'm a terrible public speaker, but we'll see what we do. My public speaking skills are as good or as bad as my comedy skills, depending how you want to look at that.
That's okay. You got a few more months to work on it.
I mean, fair, but also, like, there's one story that I will share, and then we'll probably move on from this. But during one of the Mickey's Very Merry Christmas parties, and I think I've told you guys this story before. I think. If not, we're all learning together. A lot of things happen in a week, so there you go. One time during a Mickey's Very Merry Christmas party, there's music that's piped through Main Street, as there are in a lot of different lands of the park. The audio crashed, and went silent.
Oh no.
Just went quiet. And everyone was looking at us going, what's happening? Like, are we getting kicked out? Like, what? Like, has everything been cancelled? And, like, it was one of those things where it was like, no, you're fine. Like, also going, we haven't told anything either. Like, you're fine. Like, everything's fine. And then, like, somewhere in my brain, I thought it would be a good idea to start singing. I don't know where. I can't sing, first of all. So that was a good hurdle to overcome. Despite me being in choir for 5 years in elementary school, I cannot sing to save my life. I'm a good backup singer. Second of all, I don't know many Christmas carols at the top of my head. So that was the second challenge I overcame, was that. And me and another person that were on like a mobile card, we just banded together and started Christmas caroling in the middle of Main Street, USA in Magic Kingdom.
I love it.
Like, that's not something, that's a memory that I have now forever. And you just gotta jump in there and make the most of what you have. And 2018 definitely taught me that. And 2019 will continue to teach me that, because I'm here for insert math equation here. We talked about this. We talked about this morning. We can't figure out the math. 8/12 of the year. So, like, which is 2/3, I think. Something like that. Something like that. But the fact that I now hold these memories dear and dear to my heart, but what I do with them afterwards as a whole is up to me now. So, that was my year.
Yeah.
That got deep and fast.
That's okay.
It's okay. 2018 again, probably one of the biggest years, best years I've had since 2012. Since the last time I fled my country, but that's a whole nother story. I mean, I'm not wrong.
Run away.
Right? I want to get away. dishonorable mention and worst. I don't really have one. And of course, the boat's coming to Australia as well. It needs to be an honorable mention in there because we had a blast. Like I thought it was going to be one of those things where it's just like we have this and we have this and we have this, but there was something happening every day. So, I don't really have a worst this year.
Me either, really.
I don't really have a worst moment. I think worst moment was having to think on my feet a lot, which is a skill that I need to get better at. And also procrastinating is also a thing that happened this year. So there's that. So, well, it happens to everyone. So, well, we're at about an hour. I think that might do it for the biggest stories of 2018. Not really much to say unless someone else has got something to say before we head on out of here. 2018.
Yeah. I don't got much else.
I ain't got much else. No. 2018. Pretty mellow-ish. What's happening behind me? There's sounds coming from behind me. I don't know what that was. 2018 had its moments for sure. But it was more of a personal year and more so than a global year.
Yeah.
So, alrighty then. Well, let's get out of here and round up. CJ and Rachel, thank you for joining me on this one.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Where can people find more of you out on the internet, Rachel?
Occasionally on the Twitter, lit with Gemini Angel, GEMINIIANGEL, or floating around. Granted, it will be more sporadic for the next 3 months, 4 months.
Mm-hmm.
At geek-io.net.
There we go. CJ, what about you?
Twitter.com/DragosKai, DRAGOSKAI, Twitch.tv/Geek IO show, Oogie Boogie that love button that's there, and get notified when we go live.
Oogie Boogie Land. You can find me on Twitter at twitter.com/the Dale Campbell, DALECAMPBELL, and you can also, that is my Instagram, the Dale Campbell, THEDALECAMPBELL. You can reach out to the show at show@geek-io.net. Put generic live show. Water buffalo is also a good subject line if you want to get our attention. Because anything water buffalo, I always love to read. Kind of sad that water buffalo is now retired, but we'll wheel him out again. Some point. We've got Kurosum Suri now, so that's also fun.
Yeah.
So we've gone from one. Actually, no, water buffalo was born on the Geek IO show, so I'm glad we have a generic live show bit as the outro this year. There you go. Proud moments. You can support everything that we do here at the Geek IO Media Network at patreon.com/geekio, and you can join the conversation once we go offline on our Discord at geek-io.net/discord. That's a wrap, you guys. That's a wrap. All right. For me, for CJ, and for Rachel, we'll see you all on for the predictions show. But until then, we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
You have been listening to a Geek IO Media Network LLC production. Would you like to convert that to pounds? Copyright 2019.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.